Assalamu alaikum. Very good morning to everybody. This is really a breakthrough program today. We are attending today here in the field of management of diabetes in Bangladesh as a new molecule, a innovative molecule by Eli Lilly and company, which is marketing and distributed here by Healthcare Pharma. In the sense, this is a really breakthrough and probably the one of the new horizon if you consider the management of diabetes, particularly type 2. Today, my presentation about this new novel molecule, where we can fit it in the management of type 2 diabetes patient. This means dulaglutide, weekly GLP-1 analog. In fact, GLP-1 analog is there in the global market for a long time. As you know, Eli Lilly is one of the pioneer company in the world to innovate newer molecule in the field of diabetes, starting from insulin. Then come human insulin DNA technology. It is the first time by Eli Lilly who started the DNA technology insulin molecule manufacture. Again, in the field of GLP-1 analog, one of the weapon to targeting the blood sugar control in diabetic patient. They also innovative partner in GLP-1 analog. Why we like to manage a diabetic patient? The most important point in the management of diabetic patient to keep compliance and adherence. Definitely injectable one is very difficult for the patient to continue for the whole life. So all the scientists, medical scientists in the field of diabetes, how can improve the compliance and adherence in the management, particularly by drug, particularly in injectable form. Daily injection, 2 to 3 times, whole life is very painful for every diabetic patient. It is a distress for every diabetic patient. To improve the compliance and adherence, can you make a molecule which can be applied weekly or monthly? That is the importance of today's program. Dulaglutide, the weekly molecule, which can help our diabetic patient to improve their management as well as the improvement of the quality of life. Every diabetic patient, according to our founder president Professor Ibrahim, every diabetes patient should live a respectable life, socially useful life. So if they cannot enjoy the life, how can they contribute in our nation? Anyhow, today I will talk on the GLP-1 analog, weekly molecule, how we can fit it in our day-to-day practice in type 2. As you know, most of our diabetic patients are type 2 diabetic patients. You can count it at more than 95% of our population of diabetes belongs to type 2. It is easy for type 1 in the management because they have no insulin in the body. They have to survive. They need insulin for a replacement. It is a right for the type 1 patient to provide insulin for their survival. But if you consider the type 2, there is no absolute lack of insulin. They have insulin, but relatively lack small amount. There isn't enough for the control of maintain the good glycemic control. They also need insulin. If you consider natural history of type 2, really there are lots of mechanisms are there. Lots of things are innovated and invented and discovered in the pathophysiology of type 2 diabetic patients. So lots of molecules are there. If you see the objective of today's my presentation, at the end we can understand how this GLP-1 receptor agonist can help us in the management of type 2, where we can make it in a suitable position. And how this weekly GLP receptor agonist can be a potential treatment option depending on the patient's characteristics and their lifestyle. So these two parts I will discuss today, cover today. For any presentation in diabetes, we have must remember the impact of diabetes globally, because it's related to our economy, global economy, as well as also in Bangladesh. If you see the cartoon here, at this moment, 2019, we have more than 400 million people suffering from diabetes globally. That means for every 11 person, one is suffering from diabetes. If you project it in 2045, you can understand the number of people suffering from diabetes is increasing day by day. And 2045, it is projected more than 600 million people will suffer from diabetes. That means in future, every 8 to 10 percent, one will have diabetes. On the other side, if you can consider in the Bangladesh, at this moment, we have nearly 80 lakh, that means 8.4 million people suffering from diabetes. And we are expecting the way this number is increasing, 2045, it will be 1.50 lakh, that means 15 million people suffer from diabetes. So the magnitude of the problem you can understand, which will really is alarming for us. If you see the pathophysiology of type 2 diabetes, initially we understand it is the relative lack of insulin deficiency along with relative absolute lack of insulin action. That is the teaching in our previous days. But nowadays, with the advancement of knowledge and evidences on the whole background of type 2 diabetic patient, particularly in the pathophysiology, there are lots of factors are there behind which contribute the hyperglycemia in type 2. If you look at the model, it is called ominous octet model. Here it is not only the pancreas is responsible for the insulin deficiency. Pancreas, not only the beta cell is here, but another cell is here. In the islets is the alpha cell. Before we do not know it, how alpha cell contribute in type 2 diabetic patient. So in the pancreas, two types of cell contributing the hyperglycemia. One is deficiency of insulin from beta cell. Another exaggerated fasting and post-meal glucagon secretion is also important to contribute the hyperglycemia. Along with the insulin resistance at the level of liver, at the level of muscle, at the level of adipose tissue also responsible to contribute. Beyond that, there are other factors, defective factors are there in the type 2 diabetic patient. One is one of the largest organ in the body is the intestine. There are lots of cells in the intestinal epithelium which act as a endocrine cell. The small intestine have some endocrine cell. When they exposed to nutrient after taking food, they secrete some of the hormone that potentiate the insulin secretion from the beta cell and suppress the glucagon level. So in type 2 diabetic patient, in the next slide I will explain it. This glucagon, these incretins as a whole from the intestine also contribute the hyperglycemia if they are not enough in type 2 diabetic patient. Besides that, brain also have some role to controlling the appetite and satiety. That's also important factor, particularly fast phase insulin secretion, cephalic phase. Our food is important here, which contributed by at the first moment of diet in front of me, the hormone secretion is initiated from the brain, particularly the hypothalamus. Last of all, the contribution added in the field of type 2 diabetic patient is a kidney. So kidney also is an important organ to handle the sugar in normal people. That's also important thing, how the kidney is defect, functional defect is there, may contribute hyperglycemia in type 2. And newer molecule is coming in the field, addressing that defect also. This is what I like to program today on the basis of this cartoon. If you see the beta cell function, we can do two ways. One is intravenous glucose challenge. Another is oral glucose challenge, which is more physiological. If you challenge by intravenous, you can see the insulin production from the beta cell. It is the curve after giving an intravenous injection. When you exposed our system with oral glucose, means taking carbohydrate in the sense, after oral glucose, you can see the insulin curves secretion by the pancreas. The difference between the intravenous glucose tolerance insulin curve and the oral glucose tolerance insulin curve definitely higher than intravenous way. Definitely something is there in the intestine which is exposed by our nutrient, which contribute the increased production of insulin from the beta cell. That is called the incretin effect. That means the incretin hormone intestines are responsible for the potentiating insulin secretion from the beta cell. But what happened in type 2 diabetic patient? You can see the side cartoon. This is the intravenous insulin curve, and upper part is the oral challenge insulin curve. You can see the very much reduced the incretin effect, what we see in the normal people. That means in type 2, the reduction of the incretin activity is less. That's also important factor why the beta cell cannot produce enough of insulin. It is because of the less secretion of the incretin from the beta cell for the intestine. This incretin, particularly GLP-1. This is the basis. So 50 to 70% of insulin secretion by beta cell is because of the incretins. How can address this incretin effect? How can improve the incretin effect in the beta cell? This is GLP-1 analog. What is GLP-1 analog? As I already said, incretins, GLP-1 secreted from the intestine, but it is remain in the body only in 1 or 2 minutes. It is degraded very quickly by an enzyme which is called DDP4 enzyme. So what amount of DLP we are getting in our body is very much less. So we have to have a molecule which can block or prevent degradation by the DDP4 enzyme. So all our molecules are there to preserve the what amount of GLP we are secreting to keep it like that. That can help our beta cell to produce insulin and suppress the glucagon. But if we have a larger amount of GLP-1 we can provide in our body, that will help more on the beta cell and alpha cell. So the native GLP-1 is designed in such a way which can be prevented to degraded by the DDP4 enzyme. This is called analog, GLP analog. So after taking food, the intestine is exposed and active GLP-1 is produced, but it is degraded by the DDP4 enzyme, making it inactive. So only 1 or 2 minutes is remain in our body. So if you can make it analog form, so it stimulates the pancreas alpha and beta cell to produce insulin, suppress the glucagon. If we make it analog, having the supraphysiological dose of GLP-1, definitely it will improve the beta cell function, also suppress the alpha cell function. Not only that, it has also another effect to delay the emptying of the food from the stomach. That means slowing the gastric emptying, and thus one of the way to have the less excursion of glucose after our food. So these are the three main action of GLP-1, analog and GLP. So that's the mechanism of GLP-1 and its analog in the management of type 2 diabetic patient to improve the function of islets, particularly alpha cell and beta cell, and so to slow down the gastric emptying time to reduce the post-meal excursion. With this mechanism action and benefit in a diabetic patient to reduce glucose level, what is the stance of this? What are the international guidelines says? Where this molecule can be applied? So the largest international body of the field of diabetes, American Diabetes Association, along with European Society of Study of Diabetes, ESD, jointly gave a statement in a recent year, 2020. GLP-1 analog after the lifestyle and metformin in the second can be considered a second line of treatment. Particularly, those type 2 patients have the established cardiovascular disease or they have the risk of cardiovascular disease. And if there's any type 2 diabetic patient for long-term suffering, they have also renal impairment. So this is the position where this molecule can be applied. Type 2 diabetic patient, along with established cardiovascular disease, or they have the risk of cardiovascular disease, or they have the renal impairment. It is the best suitable candidate after the metformin as a second line of treatment. Along with that, American Association of Clinical Endocrinologists, independent of glycemic control, who have the established cardiovascular disease or CKD, they also advocated this molecule to apply. According to European Society of Cardiology, even those type 2 diabetes patients did not get any treatment, any drug, just only lifestyle. We like to start some medication for the control of diabetes. Even before the metformin, which is the first line of treatment drug, drug-naive patient never taken a drug for the diabetes control. If they have risk of cardiovascular disease or they have established cardiovascular disease before metformin, you can use it. So you can understand the importance of this molecule in type 2 diabetic patient. Beside this important indication or position, established cardiovascular disease or risk cardiovascular disease or renal impairment, those who are diabetic patient type 2, most of them are obese and overweight. Because this molecule has some role, very important role and a significant role to reduce weight. So this is also important factor. Type 2 diabetic patient for obese or overweight, we can also use this molecule. Beside cardiovascular and renal benefit. Even then, we are using the lots of drug in the management of diabetes, particularly secretagogues and insulin for control of diabetes. Most important adverse effect applying the secretagogue and insulin is hypoglycemia. Those type 2 diabetes are prone to develop hypoglycemia. The drug also is a good candidate for the management. So these are the well-known established fact where GLP-1 can be used. So what I already said, after healthy food, weight control, increased physical activity, what is the most important point? I always said it is the foundation in the management of diabetes to maintain the healthy lifestyle. And education, of course, important, is a cornerstone in the management of diabetes. When you like to use drug after the lifestyle modification, definitely metformin can be used. Nowadays, at this point also, before using metformin, according to European Society of Cardiology, we can use the GLP-1 as an option. When metformin is not enough to maintain good glycemic control, as you know the natural history of type 2. At the time of diagnosis, 50% beta cell has already lost functional loss. In course of time, rest of the beta cell also functionally will gradually lose. So it is not possible to maintain the continue with one drug. Gradually beta cell will be deteriorate. So we have to add some other drugs to maintain to target our blood sugar level. So you need another drug after the metformin. This is called dual therapy. Second drug. This point after the metformin with the other in a drug, this also can stand like other drug beside metformin, like secretagogues or SGLT2 inhibitor or alpha glucosage inhibitor or pioglitazone, whatever you like. And these drugs also stand beside metformin to add. So here, this weekly dose dulaglutide GLP-1 can help. After 2 drugs, if not good control of diabetes, we can add another drug. If you like to use injectable one, this is one of the important here. This glucocorticoid also can be used as a first injectable one. If you don't like to use insulin, if you can consider this glucocorticoid if the patient is overweight or established cardiovascular disease. After 3 drugs, what will do? We must start insulin as a replacement. So instead of replacement of insulin, or is patient already getting insulin but enough control of diabetes, you can also use this molecule. Before using the insulin start, or a patient is getting insulin, you can also add this molecule also. So you can understand in the natural history of type 2, from one step to another step, Even the first step, the GLP-1 analog, particularly weekly dulaglutide, can help our type 2 diabetic patient. At this moment, we have two molecule, GLP-1 molecule in our market. First molecule is the liraglutide. We're using for the last couple of years, liraglutide. It is the daily dose, but it is partially resistant to DTP4. You have to give every day because its half-life is around 12 hours. And today, we would like to launch another novel molecule. There is a weekly dose instead of daily dose. And you can see this complete resistance to DDP4 enzyme degradation. And its half-life around 5 days. As its half-life around 5 days, so it is possible to apply it every 7 days interval. This today is 7th August. So 7 days interval we can use this tag. To remember this one of this launching program. Let us move some of the important point of this molecule, how it is innovated. Very interesting points. We know the immunoglobulins. Today also we are all the time we are gossiping about the antibody, about the COVID antibody. There's been hemoglobin G, hemoglobin M. So hemoglobin G is one of the antibody what we are produce in our body every day against different type of infection or virus, whatever you call it. They took the advantage of hemoglobin G. It has several parts. One is Fc domain, another is FAB domain, where the antibody is stacked with the antigen. They are using this only this part, Fc domain part. This is called Fc fusion technology. So this Fc fusion technology is applied here, and with some linker, they tag it with the GLP-1 analog molecule, two molecule together. Instead of FAB chain, FAB chain is replaced by GLP-1 analog with some linker to make it more stabilized form. They also make some changes in the GLP-1 molecule also. At the position of 6, 8, at the position of 22, at the position of 36 to make it more stabilized and soluble form. So removing the alanine at the position of 8 with the glycine. At the position 8, what is important? It prevents the degradation by the DDP4 enzyme. So it cannot be broken down. The fusion technique analog with the Fc portion, hemoglobin G molecule, also important to prevent the degradation by the kidney. So we can get longer action profile because of the it cannot be broken down by the kidney. By this Fc portion hemoglobin G. Inserting the linker and amino acid in other position, it makes it more soluble form. This fusion technique are utilized long ago in other molecule for the treatment of rheumatoid arthritis, for the treatment of organ rejection, for the treatment of macular degeneration. So same technique also applied here to prevent the degradation and make it more longer profile action. So fusion technique make it more solubility. In addition to other changes in the molecule itself, amino acid sequences make it more enhanced further solubility. This hemoglobin G type minimizes potentiation of the cell-mediated immunity, replacing an arginine residue with the glycine Also important to eliminate the potential T-cell epitope. That means production of the antibody in the body. So it will not be neutralized in the body. So it can provide longer period of action. See, this is the molecular part, how this molecule is innovated to make it more longer time without producing an immunity defect, make it more soluble form. When it's applied in our body, how it make concentration. The PK profile, concentration profile, it will be stabilized within 2 to 4 weeks. As it half-life is around 5 days, so weekly administration is enough. There's no requirement to dose adjustment in renal failure or hepatic failure or hepatic dysfunction. So you can easily, without any hesitation, you can use in renal disease, renal failure, dysfunction and hepatic dysfunction. If you see the pharmacodynamic profile, action profile, definitely this molecule potentiates the insulin secretion, both fasting phase and second phase. We always thinking of the second phase. We never thought of the first phase, which is totally lost in type 2 diabetic patient. It is glucose dependent insulin secretions. That's why there is no hypoglycemia. As it delays the gastric emptying time, so post-meal glucose excursion, particularly fast-phase insulin secretion profile is better. So post-meal glucose excursion is found to be less because of the delayed in gastric emptying time. If you see the efficacy overview, there are lots of studies done, clinical trial, before introduced the drug in the market. This is called phase 3 trial. Depending on the clinical scenario type 2 diabetic patient, in the whole paradigm, this molecule is fitted what I said before, as the first line, second line, or third step, or even fourth step. So total paradigm of the natural history of type 2, this molecule is applied comparing the other molecule as a second line, third line, fourth line. So nearly total program clinical trial is done more than 6,000 patients as a whole. This is called AWARD program study. It was done through the continuum of the natural history of type 2. The ongoing study, thus recent, it is published, a reviewing study. Any drug in the field of diabetes to be applied before is a requirement of FDA and European Society of Drug, EMA. Any drug to be introduced must show the data and evidences of the cardiovascular safety and benefit. There is a reviewing study of this drug. Probably this is the longer safety profile data of the cardiovascular aspect than the other molecule, around the 5 years. This is recently published. And also it can be used in children and adolescents. The study is going on. So lots of study as a monotherapy, comparing the drug with the metformin versus as a 2-drug combination versus sitagliptin, DDP-4 or metformin is added, or AWARD-6 study, comparing this molecule with the liraglutide daily dose of the GLP-1 analog. So lots of studies are there. Don't like to go in details of these studies. If you summarize all the studies report, starting from AWARD 1 to 10, some study done along with insulin or versus with insulin. Without insulin, if you see the study, patient taking different type of drug and comparing the drug as a comparator or adding the drug, you can see the result of the HbA1c reduction is higher as a green bar than the comparator. In all the studies, the HbA1c reduction is better, significantly better than the placebo and the active comparator. If you see the patient, proportion of patient achieving the HbA1c less than 5%, how many percentage of patients achieving their HbA1c less than 7%. In all the study, it is obvious with the green bar comparing the active molecule or comparing the placebo. The significant amount of patients having the HbA1c better in position. Similarly, fasting blood sugar level also had the same result, reduction. Post-meal blood sugar control also found to be similarly seen in all the award studies. I will just discuss only one study because similar like molecule is also present in Bangladesh. Also, we are practicing that one. This liraglutide, daily dose GLP-1 analog. Here, the study is done. Liraglutide weekly dose with a daily liraglutide dose. This 26 weeks randomized open label study done in type 2 adult patient. Primary objective is the non-inferiority of this drug. There's been 1.5 milligram versus liraglutide 1.8 milligram maximum dose to see the change of HbA1c benefit. Patient is getting metformin about 10 to 2 weeks run out period, giving the maximum dose of metformin 1.5 gram. Then 2 arm is done. One arm selected for the 1.5 milligram of liraglutide plus metformin. Another arm once daily dose liraglutide 1.8 maximum dose with metformin up to 26 weeks and fewer weeks done for the safety follow-up period. If you see the result, and the reduction of the HbA1c comparing the liraglutide here, this is the liraglutide here, more or less similar non-inferiority in terms of HbA1c efficacy. Also, real life study also the HbA1c reduction is better than the liraglutide real life study also. So, from this study, we can say this drug similarly efficacy with liraglutide, but liraglutide you have to give daily. Here you can give the once weekly dose having the same efficacy of HbA1c. What about the weight change? Because this drug has one of the property benefit to reduce weight. All the studies, our study program, you can see the weight reduction is significantly better if you compare the competitor. And the study I already discussed about the liraglutide versus dulaglutide. Here you can see the weight reduction though is better in the liraglutide, but is not less in dulaglutide. But with this minimum difference, as it is at weekly dose, the patient one, the difference is done. So similar studies are done in others also. Beside that one, meta-analysis is there. Comparing the dulaglutide with the liraglutide study. All the studies said that dulaglutide is in a better position than the liraglutide in terms of HbA1c reduction, in terms of body weight. What about the patient's preference? How the patient prefer this drug? What is the study said? Scientific evidence said, is the patient prefer this drug rather than the other drug? So, patient is getting different type of oral medication, type 2 diabetes patient. You need to use some injectable one. This injectable NAP patient. Getting 1 or 2 or 3 drugs option. You just said the patient, I like to use injectable. drug for you. Do you agree or not? This is called face-to-face interview. Patient said, okay, I like to use injectable one. So I have given 2 injectable one, not insulin. 2 drug. One is liraglutide, another is dulaglutide. What do you like to prefer? This is the characteristic of dulaglutide. This is the characteristic of the liraglutide. And giving the profile of this medication, videos. This is the activating factor of the liraglutide and liraglutide. It is given once daily dose. It is given daily dose. It gives a weekly dose. Blood sugar percentage control of more or less same. Weight reduction more or less same. Delivery system, it is single pen, a single dose. Here, the multiple dose can be given in a single pen. Nausea, vomiting as adverse effect of this molecule, nearly same. Hypoglycemia is nearly same with the true drug. With this characteristic of true molecule benefit, which one you like? So, if you see the result, before viewing the product profile, patient said 38% patient said, okay, I like to use injection. Then, after viewing the profile of the 2 drug side by side, the same patient, 77% patient said, okay, I like dulaglutide. Whereas only 31% said, I like to use liraglutide. That means 83% preferred liraglutide profile, 16% patient preferred liraglutide profile. Why? Because why they prefer more? Because it's only once weekly dose. Ready to use pen, because single dose pen. You need to titrate or tune the button. Just open the clip and push it. No need to titrate the button. Others with minor factors. So in conclusion, what I like to say, this liraglutide once weekly dose can help the patient. It is sustainable effect because the study is done for a longer time. So it keeps the HbA1c target for a sustainable period. And head-to-head trial with other competitor oral molecule or injectable molecule, it is a powerful agent to reduce HbA1c. So this novel molecule, innovated by Eli Lilly, dulaglutide once weekly dose, and ready to use pen help our patient, type 2 patient, to overcome the reluctance to add an injectable therapy or to add with existing basal or basal bolus therapy also. Thank you all for the patient's hearing.